this weekend there's been a wildcard weekend happening in Splatoon 2 with the chosen Grisco weapon being the Grisco Blaster, and the stage for the event was Lost Outpost, a stage that isn't present in Splatoon 3. And as I was playing this rotation with friends, I was thinking, how exactly are the updates for Splatoon 3 going to happen? How many of these stages will we see in the future? And how many King Salmonids can we expect? Splatoon 3 has been a huge innovation of Salmon Run overall, with lots of quality of life additions, but also new King Salmonids and new maps for the game mode, not to mention the active development that currently seems to be on a path of releasing one new map or one new King Salmonid that's alternating every single season. And with Sizzle season, it's finally back to us getting a brand new map even, which is Jammin' Salmon Junction. While previously we only got the returning Marooner's Bay, the question remains if they're planning to add every single Splatoon 2 Salmon Run map back to Splatoon 3, or was that just an exception for the beginning of the game? Well, we don't really know, except that Nintendo promised at least 2 years of support for the game, and while that still leaves a chance for further support down the line, it's safer to just expect the minimum that they promised. With that said though, this theory leaves quite a few loose ends for current speculations about Salmon Run, especially when it comes to King Salmonids with the prophecy from the Book of Medai and the connection to the patch cycles they are releasing them with, as one of the most popular theories is that for each of the 7 rings appearing in the sky, there would be one King Salmonid too. Now, if they keep the schedule of one map then one King Salmonid for 2 years, that still only leaves us with 5 King Salmonids, so I personally expect that support might be longer or that their schedule will speed up, unless the theory is completely wrong, which seems unlikely. There's just too many connections, and Nintendo even showed the rings during big runs. Unless the rings mean the number of big runs we're going to see and it's completely unconnected to the Kings, since if there is a big run every season, then the 7th big run would be right before that 2 years mark and could set the stage up for something big, perhaps a final big showdown. The alternative that I think more people would be happy about is that they might speed up the update process, and potentially in future seasons we could see both a map and the King Salmonid release, which would also keep Salmon Run fresh a lot longer than the current patches, where players tend to get a bit burned out of Splatoon by the end of the season, which may or may not be intended, but I personally always vouch for more content if possible. Regardless of which of these schedules are going to be real for Splatoon 3 and its Salmonid Kings, it still heavily implies that we will be getting at least one of the old maps back to Salmon Run if they're also alternating between new and old maps, and there are still 3 maps that Splatoon 2 has: Lost Outpost, Salmonid Smokeyard, and Ruins of Ark Polaris. Now of course I'd love all 3 maps to return, but if I really had to choose one, perhaps I'd go for Lost Outpost, since I'd really like to see how the grates on the stage would work out with Splatoon 3, how the new mechanics and weapons would fare with the older stage design, or even how Nintendo might make some changes on it to be more compatible and accessible with the newer design philosophy of Salmon Run Next Wave. And while I know I'm probably part of the minority here, I would still choose it over Ark Polaris, as I'm worried that the stage would just be too large and thus very laggy in Splatoon 3, where our current smaller stages are already causing some weird lag spikes every now and then, and I just don't think Splatoon 3 could handle the map and keep it fun. As the schedule looks like, unfortunately, I only expect one of these maps to return. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm quite curious, which of them would you choose if you were in charge, and also tell us why. Sizzle season is almost here, and while it does not bring a King Salmonid this time, we're getting Jammin' Salmon Junction that looks like an incredibly fun map to play on, so naturally I'm super excited that it's only a few days away. The beginning of the next season is going to be pretty action-packed, and I know a lot of people are very much excited for it, even more so than previous seasons, so I hope Sizzle will bring back some more popularity for Splatoon, but we shall see. Thank you everyone for listening to yet another theory video. We also have just reached 50,000 subscribers for the channel. I appreciate the support from you all tremendously. I can't wait to see what's next for Splatoon, but I know I'll be here waiting for it with all the excitement. Take care everyone, have a lovely day, and I'll see you the next time.